Good morning, sunshines. Happy Wednesday. Oh, my computer screen is real bright in my glasses. Oh, excuse me. I had a Dr. Pepper for breakfast. Don't come for me. I have a migraine today, so yeah. Let's try this again. Happy Wednesday, the 12th of March, 2025. This is the March Vlogs Part 2 because I am feeling really, really chatty right now. And that is not different. This morning I have come to chatter at you. So I'm Heather, known as BunniPhish on all the places. Let's look at some crafty things. Ba-da-ba-da! Yesterday I finished the first blanket for the middle school auction, and it is the first thing finished on my craft goals for 2025. So that's really exciting. Yay, me, very much proud. I don't know how I got through a whole quarter almost without finishing anything on the list, but okay, that's where we're at. It's fine. I'm working on a bunch of stuff. So what do I have in progress right now? Working on Nikki's blanket. Working on Cecilia's worm. I think I put a couple rows on the linen stitch blanket already this year. Working on Andrew's blanket. Black and green leggings, which are temporarily on hold while I work on all these blankets. But I look at them every day at work and I'm like, I'll get back to you soon. I'll get back to them in April. I have the first pair of Leslie socks started. That's the Romanticy sock. So the second sock is already halfway done. Or about halfway done, somewhere around there. So I just need to, get back to that. I have these socks cast on. So progress on a lot of things. I just haven't finished anything. I have decided that I'm going to do the 100 days project starting in June, and I'm going to do it the temperature way. So I'm going to, over here at some point in the next few days, I'm going to write down my temperature brackets using my crafty goals. And then I'm going to also, I'm going to make my list, and these things are not all portable. So not everything's going to make the list. 361 scraps or mini skeins, that's not going to go on my project or my list. Yes, I could then make sure that I'm working on something that's using a mini skein or something, but all of my yarn that I use up counts as a mini skein used up. So any project I work on works for that. So I'm not putting that on the list, but I'll figure out what I want to put on here. And Andrew's blanket lives at his house. So that's not really a practical thing to be oh, I could work on that any day. Well, I really can't because it lives at his house. So, Andrew's my boyfriend. So, yeah. I have, though, started working on Nikki's blanket this morning. So I have 4 squares out of 25. I would like to finish an average of a square a day, which likely means that on weekends I'll be finishing a few squares. But for today, I started 2 squares. So I have 1 skull going, but I didn't really want to work on black yarn in my not perfectly lit bedroom. So I'm working on the green. And somewhere in here I have, there it is. So Nikki's blanket. I drew this little picture thing before to show you about it, but today I actually counted what I need of what type of square so that I don't have to take the whole blanket with me if I don't want to. I don't think I'm going to take the whole blanket with me today. I'm just going to take the black and the green yarn and leave the blanket here. And so how many rounds? I'm going to count. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so when I get to the 10th round on this green square. I'll work 3 sides and then not do the last side because it's going to go right here onto this black square if I get there at school. And I'll also take this square and same sort of idea. I will leave the top unconnected, although I could connect it on the side like that. I could connect them side by side if I get that far. I don't think I will. I don't think I'm that fast on my lunch break. I probably don't even need to take 2 squares. I could probably just take 1, but I'm going to take 2 because I also have a meeting after school, so I can work on it then. And if I get that far, if somehow miraculously I get both squares finished on my lunch and at this meeting, I can always pull from the outside to start the next green square. Hey sunshines, it's Thursday the 13th. I'm on my lunch. It is the end of lunch. So this is a square that I had yesterday started, and I forgot my pocket knitting at home. I have backup pocket knitting that was in my car, but then I had time this morning to do a little like crocheting or knitting as I walked around my classroom, and I had this project, so I was like, well, I guess I'll work on the square. So I worked on this a little bit this morning, and then I was like, I feel like I'm going to have a lot of time to walk around this afternoon also, so I'm on the 8th round of this square, and they're only 10 round squares, and I've decided that I'm only doing 9.5 rounds because I'm attaching as I go. So I'm going to do I'll do 9 3/4 on this one, but only 9.5 on this. So when I started my lunch, I was like, oh, I could finish this square, but then it's still attached because I still need to attach it to the blanket, or I could start a square working from the outside. So I started a square working from the outside. And yes, I am going to put this entire skein in my work pocket. It's a pretty big pocket though, so it works fine. But yeah, that's where I'm at for the blanket. I didn't finish a square yesterday. It's okay. After school, I was done. We had a meeting after school, so just on those days, I'm just so tired. But that's pretty good progress. I could get close to finished to both of these by bedtime, I think. I'm gonna try. Wish me luck. Oh, friends, it's Thursday evening, and is it dramatic to say tragedy struck? I lost my hook. And I've just gone through all of my other hooks, my whole hook collection, and apparently that was my only size I hook, except for I have a wooden hook, but the wooden hook has a burr in it. So I really was going to try to finish this square and this square tonight. I did finish and attach this square. I did finish and attach that one, but I was like, oh, I can finish 3 squares tonight. I can't do it. I can't crochet with a hook with burrs in it. I just can't do it. So I'm kind of frustrated because I really thought I was going to get kind of far on this blanket. My friend Nikki's birthday is on Saturday, I found out. So I was hoping to get, at least these 2 and probably start another square and see how far I could get. I guess tomorrow before I go to work, I will stop by the super center grocery store thing because it has a craft section, and I will purchase a new size I hook. The hook could be in the chair, like in my chair at work. I guess it could be on my desk at work. It could be in the bathroom that I went into at the end of the day at work. Like, it could have fallen out of my pocket. So that's frustrating. But it's Thursday. I'm tired anyway. So I don't know. Maybe I'll work on something else, or maybe I'll just read a book and go to sleep. Because if you've been here, you know that Thursdays and I, we do not vibe. I'm out of energy. I'm tired. I'm cranky. So, yeah. I'm really disappointed. I really, really wanted to work on the blanket. Good morning, sunshines. It's Saturday, what's today, the 15th of March. And we are starting our day off with some thunder, some lightning, and some hail. It's just a little hail, I think. It's definitely not just normal rain. Hey, sunshines. So I was working on the square, and the square finished my first skein of green yarn. And I only bought 2. And it's the Big Twist value. So it's Joann's yarn. So I need 12 total green squares to do the blanket pattern as I was going to do it. So my plan right now, this is like the first half of the blanket. Like this will be a black square, black square, black square, and a black square up there. And that'll be the first half. Like the black squares are the median line. So I can definitely get 6 green squares out of the green yarn plus the skull squares for this side. So when I leave my house later today, there is a Joann's that is not too far out of my way. So I'm going to go to Joann's and see if they have any more of this green Big Twist. If they don't, I will see what other comparable greens they have, but I might get purple to do the other side. Because I feel like if it's half one and half the other, that will still look intentional, even though it's not what I originally planned. So that's where I am on this blanket. It's fine. So today is my friend Nikki's birthday. Present is going to be late. It's fine. So at the end of the day, I would like to show her a blanket that's about half done, honestly. So this is going to be my focus project today. I am also going to work on this, which was previously going to be a cowl, but now I'm going to make it into a hood because I'm being inspired. Lots of people are making hoods on the YouTube verse, and I think my aunt would absolutely wear a hood. Not that she wouldn't wear a cowl, but she would absolutely wear a giant hood, especially if I put bunny ears on it. So that's my new plan. I have this much yarn left out of the first ball, or the second remnant, I guess is more accurate. The second remnant of the Woolies Thick and Quick. And then I have one more ball of Thick and Quick. So that should be, I think that'll be enough to get a hood. And if it's not, I'll go grab another ball of Thick and Quick. Or honestly, I probably have a square back from the days when I used to teach at Joann. I probably have a square that's in this color that I can pull out to make the rabbit top or ears or whatever I need. So, or I can buy a ball. I don't mind buying a ball for my aunt. Anyway, so I want to work on this a little bit, but just here and there because these needles are hard on my hands. My hands are a little bit tired from crocheting so much. I have this scrappy sock for my oldest kiddo that is finished. I just need to Kitchener it. I finished the toe last night and didn't want to Kitchener it. So I'm going to take care of that this morning and then cast on my Croy sock, the one that I ordered this whole ball of yarn so I could have one stripe out of. Yep, I'm gonna do that. And then I'll probably also work on these socks for my sister's oldest kiddo. It's their winter holiday gift. I saw them last weekend when we were going to the baby shower because we met at my sister's place. And I was like, hey, I know you said gray. Is this gray enough for you? I feel like gray with pops of pink and green is right up your alley. And they were like, yeah, that'll be great. So I'll work on that a little bit here and there, just, you know, changing it up so I'm not just crocheting all day because hand fatigue. But I will check in with you later today. It's right around 8 a.m. and my big plans today are laundry and crocheting. So hopefully a lot gets done. It's because we're at how many squares done now? 7 complete squares and 2 green squares started. So my goal would be, hold on, I have to do this math in my head, but I might mutter it under my breath. Oh no, it's easy. So I would want to be at 15 squares. So I said I'm at 7. So I'm right around halfway there because I have 2 partial squares. I don't know if I can do 7 squares today. That seems like a lot, but maybe. Hey, sunshines. So I did go to Joann yesterday. They did have the slime color in stock, which is really, really exciting because, like, while I was okay with the idea of the purple, I stopped working on my blanket yesterday because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Do I need the purple? Do I need the slime? It was very ADHD, like analysis paralysis. So anyway, here's the blanket. And this is going to be the 10th square out of 25. So I don't know what I was talking about, thinking maybe I could get to 15 squares. Like, that's not reasonable. That could have been reasonable. If I had had all the yarn and didn't have analysis paralysis, I probably could have done it. But it's like 3 p.m. now. I am going to put this square on. And then I think I'm going to try to make a black square today and get that put on, and that will be my goal. So how many do I have? I have 10 on, well, this will be 10, which means I'll have 15 to go, and there's 14 days left to the month. So if I can do a square a day and get it attached, I'll have it done by the end of the month. I would like to do more than that because I do want to do spider webs on these squares, or maybe like a spider and some webs on the green squares, some of the green squares. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet. Surface crochet, I'm thinking. But that's it. It will be enough time. It will be enough time. I can do this. I can finish this blanket by the end of the month. I can do this. Okay, friends, annoying. I don't know what it is with these size eye hooks and just not wanting to exist in my realm. But either I left the size eye hook at my boyfriend's house, or it has mysteriously disappeared. Because it's not in my backpack where I was carrying the project. It's not in the yarns. It's not in the project. So I'm going to the grocery store before I go back to my boyfriend's house this evening for dinner. So I'm just going to grab another size I hook. It'll be like the size J hooks that I have like 10 of. It's fine. It's fine. Just my knitting needles don't do me like this. I'm just saying, crochet. I'm not even throwing shade. I'm just saying, my knitting needles don't do me like this. Anyway, so I'm not going to work on the blanket right now because I don't have a hook. So that's a weird sound. That was not a sound in my house. That was a sound outside of my house. I couldn't tell. So not my problem. Anyway, what was I going to say? I don't know. So I'm going to work on the hood instead and probably switch it out with a sock project so that my hands don't get too tired. But what I did do is I did make the form for the summer square swap. That's what I'm calling it. These are my thoughts. These are my initial thoughts. I'm going to make an actual video about it probably in April. probably post like the 1st of April-ish, first week of April. So you'll have like a moment to distill this. Okay, so my thought is May, June, July, August. Have swaps those 4 months. 2 squares per month that you sign up for. You can sign up for all 4. You can sign up for just 1. You can sign up for as many as work for you. So my thought is, you only have to include 2 squares. You don't have to include other things. If you and your partner want to include things, that's cool, but it's not a requirement. I have a place for your email address, so I can send you the stuff, your shipping address, whether you want to ship internationally or domestically, yarn color preference, yarn type preference, and I think that's it. Let me look. Oh, and I put the option on there for whether or not you want to swap extras. Because if you don't want to swap extras, but someone else does, and I know in advance that they are the type of person who wants to swap extras, I'm just going to try to make that not so difficult. So what do you think? Do those sound like good options? Is 4 months too much? Is 4 months okay? Like, are we even interested in this? Or should I just do 1 swap at some point in summer? What are we thinking? And do we think 2 6-inch squares is a good amount for a swap? I'm absolutely open to feedback. I was just going off of like my original, like, that we used to swap 2 squares and it was every month. So that's where I'm going off of. But what do you guys think? And like, summer works for me. I can do the square swap during summer because I don't have school. So like doing the extra admin and stuff, that works for me. I don't have to worry about all the school stuff. But is 2 squares doable for other people every month? Because I think it is, but is it? Is it not? Let me know. All of your feedback in the comments, please. And I will get the summer square swap video out soon. And the video will have a questionnaire that you can fill out. I am super excited that some of you are all about the square swap. I think it'll be so fun. I think it's going to be super fun. My squares are going to go into middle school blankets because I don't need the squares for me, but I just love the idea of like putting extra love into the blanket from other people. I think that would be so cool. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Okay, I'm gonna go. Did you hear my washing machine singing to you? It said it was very excited it was done. So I'm gonna go take care of my washing machine and then do some knitting. Not crocheting because I can't find my hook. Hey sunshines, this is not a cute angle, but whatever. When I went to the store yesterday, I'm waiting in the car for my sister's oldest kiddo. I'm giving him a ride somewhere. Anyway, when I went to Joann's yesterday, they didn't have the giant pound of black, so I got 2 black skeins, 2 more slime skeins, so that I would have enough for the blanket. And I did get a few things that weren't on my list, which is not good because I'm not supposed to be buying things, but they're both for my sister. Amanda, if you're watching, don't worry, you're gonna forget about these things. So I got this for her, and I didn't have these colors for her socks. Hello, child. I'm recording for my vlog. You can sit if you'd like. Don't worry, you won't be on camera as long as you don't like lean over this way. But for my sister's 40th birthday, if you tell your mother, I will punch you. For my sister's 40th birthday, I want to do kind of like a countdown present because her birthday's at the end of the month. So I kind of want her to have 1 present per day until her birthday, starting on the first day of her birthday. Even if she's watching right now, she's going to forget because that's going to be for her 40th birthday. And I have to turn 40 first, and I'm the oldest. So This is like a down the way thing. But wouldn't those be cute socks for her? And she'll love that yarn. So I had to get the things, even though I'm trying not to just buy yarn. I'm not just buying yarn. The things have a purpose. Hey, sunshines. I'm in my office. It's after school. My daughter, today is the 17th. Happy St. Patty's Day. My daughter has tutoring, and normally my roommate would pick her up, but my roommate works at a bar, and you can't take off St. Patty's if you work at a bar. So it's all hands on deck at the bar. So I am taking my daughter home after tutoring. So I don't go home when my daughter has tutoring because, like, we don't live that far away, but to go and then come back, it just, like, I can't get into anything at home. So I just hang out and work on whatever project I'm working on when that happens, whether it's a knitting crochet project or an around the building project. But today I'm working on Nikki's blanket, and I thought I would like actually show it to you, like hold it up. So I have 10 squares attached, which is 40% of the blanket. I'm working on the 11th square. These are 10 round solid grannies, and I am about to start the 8th round. So I'm thinking I can get that square finished and attached right here. I really want this blanket to be done. I'm done with it. I'm done with squares. I really want to be working on my leggings, but I have to work on it for it to get there, right? So it's fine. I should be able to get that square finished and attached, and then start on the last solid black square. I think that'll be my goal tonight. Not finish it, but like get the last solid black square done, because I need 5 of them to go across. Oh, that's not the last one? Oh, I'm showing you the back. That's not even the pretty side. No, that is the pretty side. Okay, sorry, that is the pretty side. The seam is the pretty side. Oh, I guess I need 3. So my goal will be to get the second to last solid square done tonight. I feel very frazzled today. But I'm okay. And this will be done, and it will be lovely by the end of the month. And I'm doing so bad at the not buying of the yarn, but I'll tell you that when the yarn gets to me. All right, I'll check in with you in a bit. Hey sunshines, it's Tuesday evening. It's March 18th. I was waiting for them to be quiet, and it just never happens. My children are just never quiet. Anyway, so I decided, I've been bouncing back and forth the idea of doing a 2-color square for two of the 4 corners. So finally I'm doing it. And so I'm working the squares in a spiral so that it's going to look like it flip-flops on the diagonal. I'm not using a pattern. I am just using what I know of square construction and spirals in granny squares, because even though I haven't made them in a really, really long time, my brain stores that kind of information forever. So the last time I made a spiral granny square was probably, a decade ago. My brain is still like, oh no, we totally know how to do this. So I'm going to do that for Nikki's blanket. And I'm really, really excited because tomorrow I should at some point be 60% complete. I have this square and another square to go to get to that 60% mark. So I'm pretty excited about that. Of course I want to get there tonight, but that's just silly. I'm not putting that on myself actually. My brain is just like, oh, but we could just do it. No, it takes time to make these squares. They're not super, super fast. They don't take forever, but 12-inch squares are big. I think it might take me 2 hours to make a 12-inch square and get it attached to the blanket. I don't know, because I haven't measured the time. I don't just sit down and work on things because this hand in particular, my left hand, gets really tight. In between these 2 fingers is really tight right now. So I'm trying to rest that. So, yeah. Plus I have laundry to do tonight and a little bit of cleaning. So we'll see. And it's already late in the evening. It's so lovely that it's after 6 p.m. and there's still sunshine. I really, really love winter. Like, I love winter so much, but I am enjoying the longer sunlight hours. Sorry for the noise in the background, children. But anyway, yeah, that's the square, and I'm just really, really excited about it. And I'm excited that I'll be at 60% of the squares done for the blanket. Not of all the work of the blanket, because the squares is just a portion. Because after I have the squares assembled, I'm going to be doing some surface crochet, maybe a little bit of applique, and then I want to do a border. And I think I've settled on wanting to do a 2-color fancy border that I'm probably going to hate the process of, but I think I'm totally going to love the look of. So, yeah. But that you'll see that. You'll see that when it happens. So, I'm pretty excited for it. Hey, sunshines. It's Thursday the 20th of March. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Hi. So I've had a migraine for like 8 days because the weather here in Michigan has been ridiculous. Like up, down, up, down, up, down for more than a week. And I can teach through a migraine, but my body just can't do it. Like, because sleeping is hard because I keep getting woken up because of the migraine, and then like I haven't been sleeping really well for the past week. And so today it was just too much. Like, I went into work, I was getting my day started, and then nausea hit. So like, for instance, yesterday it was, I think it was almost 70. Maybe it was just 60. I don't remember. It felt really hot. And today we're going to get snow. And my body just can't handle that. So I was at work, but I didn't feel good. So I threw together some sub plans, which weren't hard. Like, I have my lesson plans, right? I just typed them into sub plans and printed out attendance sheets and got all of the stuff together for my students. And like had a brief chat with my sub to make sure that they understood everything, like make sure that my sub plans were clear and stuff. So now I'm home and I'm gonna rest, which will look like hopefully a nap or two, quiet time, not looking at screens, which is why I'm not looking at you right now. Maybe reading a book. I haven't even told you about the book I'm reading. Probably crocheting a little bit. Just I hate taking sick days because I feel like it's inconveniencing people. And I hate inconveniencing people, but I just can't do it today. Hopefully I'll feel better this afternoon, like once the weather levels out. Because right now the temperature is dropping. It was in the 50s when I woke up. It's getting down to the 30s in the next several hours. So hopefully once that levels out, it won't be so bad. So what I'm saying is I might check in with you later with some cool things to show you, or I might not check in until tomorrow. I definitely left Nikki's blanket at school. I have the yarn for Nikki's blanket here, but I left the blanket at school. So we'll see if I get any crocheting or knitting done today. Who knows? Hey, sunshines. So I did rest. It's evening time now. And I feel like better-ish, but like, I don't know how much better, because I was feeling fine. And then I went and picked up my littlest kiddo, and driving in the car made me feel nauseous. So that's not fun. Like, I'm feeling okay-ish now, but like not okay enough to eat, and I need to eat. So that's a little frustrating. But I did work on some things today. So one thing, if you saw the Seasonal Yarny YouTube hop, you know that I made a square. So it's this one. I did not bring the blanket home today. Like I said yesterday, I left it at school on accident. I definitely didn't grab it this morning while I was at school, but feeling horrible. It was just not on my radar. It's fine. I will bring it home tomorrow. But I made this square today and recorded that video. So if you didn't see it, I'll put a little, where is it? It'll be on the side, right? I'll put a card up here. And I also worked on this green square, and I started a black square. Maybe I didn't start it. Maybe I had it going. I think I had the black square going. I think I also had the green square going, but I used up the last of one of the skeins somewhere in here. Yeah, that's right, because I used this skein and this skein to make this square. Okay, not that it matters, but it does in my brain. And then I decided I would go ahead and start. I need 3 more skull squares, so I have the skull for one. I have another skein of black yarn, so I'm going to attach this skull to the other black skein of yarn and start working on that a little bit. Obviously, I don't need to really worry about getting anything to completion this evening since I don't have the blanket and I can't attach it. So I'm not like really pushing to finish anything tonight, but I'm going to do the 3rd skull and then clip it to a skein of yarn so that I can attach it to a skein of yarn when I finish a different square. But that's where I'm at today. I also did a little work on some other projects, so let's check in on those things. So I worked on the hood a little bit. So now you can really see that it's split. These needles hurt my hands though. when I'm purling for sure. A little bit when I'm knitting, but definitely when I'm purling. So I can't work on this too much. It's kind of like do a little crochet, like maybe a round or a half a round on a square, and then 30 stitches, which is obviously not the full row either way, but I just do 30 stitches and I'm like, okay, time for my hand to rest. I also worked on these socks a little tiny bit. I mean, really maybe put like 3 or 4 rounds on. Because when I pick it up to just work a little tiny bit, I just work across one needle. I don't work a whole round. The doing socks 2 at a time magic loop is not enjoyable for me anymore. So like I want these socks and I'm happy that I'm working on them, but the process isn't my favorite. Also, these needles, like they're okay, but the join is not great. It's a little catchy. I think you can see that there's a gap there, just a little tiny gap, but it's there. So it's not my favorite. And I don't know where my other size 2 needles are. I'm sure they're in a project somewhere that I've forgotten about. And to give my hands even more like space to be okay and not be doing the same thing, I worked on 2 different socks. So this is a Knit Picks yarn. I think it's the Dogwood Heather colorway on Stroll US size 0 needles. It's just stockinette. It's not fancy. And then I am making myself a croy sock to match this croy sock. So I'm in the cuff right now. And that's a 1x1 half twisted rib. My knits are twisted, my purls are not. So, just a little bit of that. I don't need these socks done anytime soon. I do need this sock finished by the end of the school year. So I'm good. I'll have it done. It's just stockinette, especially now that I'm working on it again. But that's what I've been working on today. I have also been reading a little bit. I believe I mentioned on a previous vlog that I was tandem reading Empire of Storms and Tower of what? Does it say in here? Tower of Dawn. Because they follow different people in the series, and previous books were following different people, but Tower of Dawn, it seems so far, is only following 2 of the characters from the series versus like the whole cast. And I saw Lisa of the Knit All of the Yarn podcast talk about how she was doing a tandem read for it and she was enjoying that. And I was like, oh, that sounds like something I would like better, because for Game of Thrones, 2 of the books were like that. What were the books called? The Song of Fire and Ice is what the books are called. 2 of the books were like that, where one book followed like half of the characters, the other book followed the other. Less important? Is it? I mean, like, yeah, less important, kind of. And that's kind of how Tower of Dawn is. Is that what we decided? That's what I'm saying it's called. It's following, like, not the main characters. Like, definitely important characters, but just not main. And when I was reading the Song of Fire and Ice series and I got to that other book, I was like, this is the same timeline. Why didn't the author continue to mix those characters in and then just split the books in the middle, timeline wise, instead of choosing to have them be a tandem, like going on at the same time, but in a less interesting way? So that's why I'm tandem reading Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. But someone else at the library needed, Tower of Dawn. So I don't have that physically. I have both of them on my Kindle. So I've been reading them mostly physically, but also on the Kindle as needed. So I'll just be reading the Tower of Dawn on my Kindle, I guess. Which means I haven't been reading it today. The Tower of Dawn, I haven't read it today because I'm trying to limit my screen time because I know that that exacerbates my migraines, and I'm really trying not to have a migraine. But I mean, I can't do anything about the weather. Can't do anything about the weather. Just try to mitigate the other things. Obviously, I was on the screen a little bit because I edited the thing, but whatever. I can't. I mean, I probably could. I probably could go a whole day without a screen. It would just be hard. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy to think about how, like, screens used to not even be a thing, and now, like, it would be so weird for me to go a day without looking at a screen. Alright. I will check in with you again tomorrow, hopefully with the blanket, with something else attached to it. We're getting there. We're getting there on the blanket. And I have, what is this now, 5 squares started to go onto the blanket. So, you know, I'm in a good place for the weekend. Hey, sunshines. It's Friday. And here is the blanket. I have 2 rows complete. I added those 2 squares. Those were 2 of the squares that I worked on yesterday. And I'm hoping to finish another square today, although not attach it because it's going to be a skull square, but on the other side. So I would have to do another, well, I guess I could attach it there. So I'm hoping, we'll see. It's going to be my walk around the classroom project. So we'll see. Fridays is usually pretty chill in my classroom in the afternoon, so fingers crossed. Oh, I have an emergency surgery on a sweater for a student. Emergency. But when they ask so nicely, how can you say no? I can't.